Hello, my name is Yash Bhatia, and I am the board member of the Industrial Crescent chapter of APICS located here in Greenville, South Carolina. And today I'll be interviewing Sam Yankelevitch. He is an author and conference speaker dedicated to training teams doing businesses internationally. Sam will be our guest speaker at the Jan 2018 professional development meeting, and his topic will be about the impact of language, culture, and distance on supply chain. Welcome, Sam.
Thank you, Yash, for this opportunity.
You're welcome. So I'm going to jump right into the interview question. The first one is, why do you think these three factors are important in supply chain operations?
That's a good question, Yash. We tend to focus quite a bit, maybe too much on technology. But at the end of the day, you and I know that it's people on the front lines of our supply chains that end up taking care and are responsible for coordination of all of the information, materials, and finished goods that go from point A to point B. So this coordination entails excellent communication. And miscommunication often happens because of those three factors: language, culture, and distance. So language, for example, we think that we've solved everything because we said English is the language of business. The problem is not everybody speaks English at the same level. I'm a non-native speaker, and as a non-native speaker, these things can create problems. Then there's cultural differences. Everybody from a different culture might understand the meaning of a word in a different way than others. It also has to do with context, because culture and context go together. So they have a different context to understand a word. And then there's distance. And I might say that for me, lately, I have found that this is probably the biggest issue. When we're face to face with somebody, it's easy through body language to clearly understand and go back and forth and reach the same meaning. But we don't live in a face-to-face world anymore. Supply chains are extended over time zones, over many, many miles and continents. And this seems to be a huge problem for our supply chains.
Thank you, Sam. So in the next question kind of leads into what you just said. I think many of the listeners can relate to what you are saying, but I have not seen a big push to take these factors in consideration. Why do you think this is so?
Yeah, that's very true, Yash. Actually, I think, my opinion is because we tend to focus a lot of our attention on the physical issues, on physical resources. The trucks, the warehousing space, the containers, and those physical things consume most of our attention. Then you have these three factors, culture, language, and distance, and they're pretty much invisible. So they draw less attention. Over the 30 years that I've been in the global supply chain, I've seen many of these, less visible issues create misunderstandings, and small misunderstandings create big problems and big costs. Just because these things are not seen, it doesn't mean that they're not affecting our supply chain operations.
Yeah, that is very true, Sam. So if these are, as you say, invisible factors, what can we do to protect the supply chains, and prevent negative impact to our operations?
I think it all starts with awareness. Yeah, so we need to bring these things to the surface. We need to put more attention to these things. And for example, when we're planning a supply chain, when we're designing a supply chain operation, it's important to include these topics in there. When we do our FMEAs, for example, for our designs of our supply chains, you want to include these topics in there. The other part is when you have a problem that happens in a supply chain, a failure, or a situation where money went out the wrong way, you want to use your Lean Six Sigma. You want to use your quality tools to do systemic root cause analysis and reach the problems at the source. And then another point is to share the lessons learned about these issues with all of your supply chain members, because what this is going to do is it's going to help prevent these things from reoccurring over and over in the supply chain.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. I think the viewers will, or the audience in Jan 2018 will be really waiting to hear more about on this topic, and it's really exciting to have you on as a speaker next year. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Yash. Thanks for the opportunity.